Hello there, it's the parts of an essay. Writing an essay is like searching your inner self. Have you ever sat down to think about why your teacher asked you to write an essay instead of just telling you to express yourself in oral form? The reason your teacher did this is the same reason why this topic is going to be very beneficial to you. This topic will give you an opportunity to express yourself more logically when you write. Since you'll be taught the parts of an essay, it will help you to know what is expected of you in any essay you are asked to write. The knowledge you gain from here will help you immensely when you get to secondary school. All you will need to do then is to build on the already solid foundation that you have. Now, let's look closer at an essay and how it can be organized. Okay, so we don't make a complete mess of our work. This lesson is going to focus on a lot of things. Okay, the first one we'll be looking at is what is an essay? What are the parts that make up an essay? And how do you put it all together to make it a good final product? Now, let's begin with the definition of an essay. An essay is a shorter piece of writing that often requires students to hone skills such as close reading, analysis, comparison and contrast, persuasion, conciseness, clarity, and exposition. Students will often be asked to write about something they have read, studied, or experienced. So now that we know what an essay is, let's discuss the part of an essay and how we can put it all together. To make this journey, we'll think of an essay as a sandwich being made in one of the best sandwich shops in the world. I'm talking about Chicken Republic. How does one make a world-class sandwich? We'll begin with the title. This may not be the first step to complete, but it's a step that is often missed by many students. So, imagine we agree that the best sandwich in the world to see in our sandwich shop, and then we step into Chicken Republic and we'll find the menu, and on it is a blank line followed by a price. Who is going to order that? Even worse, we would want to call it something that was misleading, right? Why call it a peanut butter jelly sandwich if it doesn't have peanut jelly or butter? Just like we have in Chicken Republic, the title of our essay should be either descriptive of the content of our essay or engaging to the point where the curiosity of the individuals that is going to read the work will compel them to read more. Go for the compelling title only when you have a reading audience that can choose to read your essay or not. If you're working on an assigned essay that will be read only by your examiner, you should use a descriptive title, while the one that you want to publish should be a compelling title. Now, let's look at the introductory paragraph. Like all great sandwiches, the bread, which often is neglected, is really the main star of the dish. Our third piece of bread is the introductory paragraph. The introductory paragraph should start with your hook, thesis statement, and this will help to give your reader a sneak peek at the main points you're going to cover in your essay. Now, what are the main points? They are those supporting materials that make up the substance of your essay. Consider this the main ingredient within your sandwich. Now, like all good sandwiches, we want some very good complementing flavors inside. So when deciding on ingredients for a sandwich, we don't want it to be too bland with too little flavors. However, we also don't want it to go crazy with ingredients in a way that we find the taste very confusing. A good setup for the essay is to have at least 2 to 5 points. Anything less than that is going to leave your audience without enough information to come to an informed conclusion. Anything more than that, and your reader may be confused as to what your main thesis is about. So let's look at the concluding paragraph. Just as important as our top piece of bread, the bottom piece has to be as strong and well cut out. Okay? Now, imagine you picking up a sandwich and you notice that the person used a slice of Nosakare bread on top, and agege bread at the bottom. Would you be confused? Just as the top piece and bottom piece of bread complement each other and almost mimic each other in taste and texture, this should be the case of your concluding paragraph. It should be similar to your introductory paragraph, with you rewriting the thesis statements and the main points in a different way. Okay? Now, the transition statements. What we have so far might look like a sandwich, but there isn't some wonderful background notes of different flavors, like let's say corned beef and sardine. The transitive statements are the notes that hold the sandwich together, ensuring that it doesn't get too dried and that it has enough background flavor to guide the reader through. There should be the transition statement following your introductory paragraph, between your main points, and before your concluding paragraph. Again, consider the wonderful ingredients that give your essay a flavor that sets it apart. That makes your essay more than just a summation of the big parts. Okay? Now, the writer rather should be very conscious of something. If you miss out in a transitive sentence, the reader would know. Now, the packaging. We went on through with the trouble of making an amazing chummy essay, right? But it would be a waste if we don't package it appropriately. How would you feel if you walk into a restaurant, ordered a sandwich, and they brought it to you wrapped in a dirty towel and maybe in a toilet paper? Would that leave a bad impression on you? Would you even choose to consume it? For the purpose of writing, the packaging piece is your editing. So no matter how well your essay has been written, you have to check, because the truth is it will be filled with grammatical errors, misspelled words, and if a reader says this, the work will no longer be considered as a good essay, right? It will leave a bad taste in the mouth of your reader. All your effort will be in vain. So you have to make sure that your essay is well packaged by going through again. Now let's do a recap of what we learned in this lesson. We said essay includes skills such as close reading, compare and contrasting, analysis, persuasion, conciseness, and clarity. The parts of the essay are the title, the introductory paragraph, the main points, and the concluding paragraph. We also said that in writing an essay, we look at the process the same way we try to put together a good sandwich. We start with the top piece of the bread, introductory paragraph, which includes the hook, transitory statements, and the thesis statements that introduce our main point. We will fill it with wonderful high-quality ingredients, and then we end it with the bottom piece of the bread, which is a concluding paragraph. The concluding paragraph must restate your thesis and main points. We want to make sure that our transition sentence and transitional statements are equally involved. We want to make sure that people know what to call a masterpiece, so we must give it a title, right? If you can follow these steps, you're going to be on your way to creating a great essay. Stay safe and be good always. Bye.